Hello, my name is Francesca. I'm just coming in and sharing an experience with you. Today I had an interview with Women's Creative Co. Ari was a fabulous host and asked me a lot of questions that I'm sharing with you right now because my energy is up after this interview. That's usually how I get very excited after podcast interviews because it was very inspirational and authentic, and I just enjoyed being on with Ari and chatting with her, talking about my business, talking about my journey, and really getting to the core of who I am. Because I learned after being on podcasts for about 6+ months already, and counting because I have more coming in the future, that podcasts really just want to get to the core of who you are and how you are within your business, right? Because that's what matters, is who you are. So I'm sharing some of the insight that was brought out of me because my momentum is up and it's going to bring you some clarity on who I am. And I get to share opportunities with you, which is nice. I like to share what's going on within my business alongside of business tips and the processes that I go through with clients. This is an important aspect as well. So when Ari and I were talking, she started off by saying, Francesca, how did you get to where you are? How did you find out that you're an entrepreneur and owning your own business? So we started from the younger years, right? I told her how I used to perform in front of crowds, be it dancing and cheerleading, and then I segued into my high school and college years when I was successfully babysitting and growing my clientele just through that by word of mouth. When I was thinking about this, and in a lot of podcasts, they ask, what is your story? Who you are and how you came to be. And at first I was like, well, I don't really have a story. What is my story? How am I supposed to position myself in order to make my story flow into myself as an entrepreneur today, growing my business? And when I've been going through each of these podcasts, I've had these realizations that, wow, I do have a story because these hosts pull it out of me. If you have experience of being on a podcast, you'll know some of these podcast hosts are that good. They ask really deep questions, in depth, and guess what? Because they want their viewer to give value and they want the guest, me, to be comfortable, to share information and be vulnerable because that's important. So owning a business, and in my younger years, it has taught me through my performance years of being in front of a crowd, a large crowd, hundreds or thousands of people at a time, and presenting myself and executing a presentation in a spotless manner. Babysitting taught me the fundamentals of owning a business. Scheduling clients, presenting my services properly, communication, and the follow-up. Gaining clients, getting testimonials from them. Because the babysitting, a lot of the foundational work that I do within my business today, I started to learn when I was doing that because I was working for myself, making my own money and growing my own clientele. Who would have thought at that point that that's what I was doing? But now that I'm going on these podcast interviews and I'm looking within myself to say, well, how did I really develop this type of a mindset? Was it in me the whole time and I just didn't know what it was until today or when I started owning a business? And that's true. So having the state of mind that I do as a business owner today and being on podcasts, 6+ month journey already, and I'm absolutely loving it. I've gotten to interact with so many fabulous people, has taught me to look at my younger years and figure out what I learned at that point of time that is valuable for my business today. Ari and I also spoke about the value of client workflow and having a specific process with clients. Oftentimes, when I go into a client relationship, whether it's a project or a monthly marketing service, I have to be super clear about what I'm presenting, what my services are, answer all 50 plus questions that they have, or a lot of questions, openly in an honest way, because guess what? That matters. The questions they have, excuse me, and my answers matter, because it's registering within them, and the way that I go through the process matters. So for example, if I'm bringing on a monthly marketing client, I oftentimes let them know what will happen on day one, what will happen within the first week, and what will happen within the first month. That way, because they're new to the process, they understand how to be prepared within the first month and months going on, right? Because at the beginning of a monthly relationship, I can't predict what's going to happen in 6 months, but I can easily navigate the first day, week, and month. And then after that, they'll understand more of the process and we'll be able to grow better together. So Ari, and I keep saying her name, Women's Creative Co., because it was such a fabulous interview. That interview will go live between March and May. Right now I have a few interviews pending, and I know you're thinking to yourself, how am I able to watch all this stuff? Because guess what? The interviews, they won't live on my Facebook page because they're promoted by someone else's on their page. But the way I share this type of information out is via my emailing list. So at the end of this video, just go to francescagucci.com, get in the footer, put your name in, and there you go. Now you will receive all of these lovely interviews or information that's happening with me right now and the experiences that I'm going through. So you're able to stay up to date and learn something out of it. Another important component at the end of the interview is Ari asked me about a quote that resonates with me in my life right now. And I told her about my quote that I made up, inner reflects outer, outer reflects inner, because it's so true. And it's so me in the way I live my life and in my business life day to day. Inner reflects outer, meaning my inner self, the way I think about myself, what my thoughts are, reflects to the outside. I'm thinking positive, good thoughts. I'm optimistic about projects. I have, glowing skin. You can see it in my eyes. I have, perky cheeks or a smile on my face. And that's because I know myself, right? Because I know that if I'm optimistic, I'm enjoying the moment right now, I'm going with the flow, that it'll show on my face. Because I love to smile, and smiling is infectious. You'll get to learn that. You're a client of mine, you'll know. I get very excited when we start new projects, or you gain a client, or we meet new people. It's an exciting process for me, and I like to showcase that and really help you understand who I am and who we are as partners together. Outer reflects inner. I follow a great nutritional diet. Now, I'm not following a diet right now, but I do eat well on a regular basis. Lemon water, ginger, are just a few components in my life right now. I also work out 5 days a week. I lift weights. I love it. Outer reflects inner. So that's a way that outer reflects inner. And the way you dress. So the way you look for meetings, the way you look on a client's Skype call, when I'm going into a business meeting, that matters. Whether I like to wear nice business outfits, heels, or a casual sweater, a clean pair of jeans, and flats. I look good, I feel good, I'm going to do great on the presentation, I'm presenting myself well, because that matters. People are looking at me from all different types of angles. I want to end on this, right? Ari made me bring out this point before I started my business a few years ago. I went to I just forgot what it was. Improv class. There you go. Improv class. An impromptu improv class. So I looked up online because I wanted to do something random that would get me out of my shell, because I knew that started my own business. I'd be put in uncomfortable situations all the time, and I just needed to get used to it. Went to this improv class, and the teacher taught us about making different noises with our mouth and clapping and doing these different things, being different characters. And there, I truly learned about positive energy, or just reading the energy of the other people, going with the flow, and being able to interact with them in my best ability. The best thing I learned was go with the flow. So go with the flow. I use that when I'm on the phone with a client for a consultation call, when I'm on a podcast, because oftentimes, whether I'm on a consultation call or I'm on a podcast, I want to prepare some type of script right beforehand. I want to make sure I'm going to answer every question the best way possible, make sure I include every single detail about, the answer ahead of time. But then I say to myself, I have to just go with the flow. Because I go with the flow, I'm authentic, I'm speaking from my heart, and that matters because that comes across. So I want you to take this video and just take it as learning a little bit more about myself on an afternoon or whatever time of day that you're watching. Again, I love to kind of come in, share experiences with you, because you're tuning into my channel on Facebook, you're watching my blogs, you're watching my videos. So this is another little caveat about what I like to share, insight about myself, my business, because this will help you learn about who I am and who I am to you as a social media partner, someone helping you grow your online presence.